Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jenny Wise, and today I'm going to be informing you on housing options for college students. Last year, as an incoming freshman, I decided to take a giant leap and live on campus for my first year. This was a completely different experience for me, considering my home is over an hour away from Youngstown, and I'm an only child, so it was a big change for both me and my parents. Coming into this experience, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. The only thing that I knew was you could move into a dorm or you could move into an apartment. But through my research for my speech, I have talked to several students living in the dorms that are my friends, several students that are living in the apartment. I've taken a little bit of my first year experience, and I've actually talked to the manager of the MYO property to give you the best factual information possible to help you decide which housing option is right for you if you're looking to live on campus. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the different types of dorms and apartments, the pros and cons of living in each one, and how on-campus living and off-campus living are completely different experiences. Let's start by exploring the on-campus housing options. So starting off, there are 3 dorms. There's Leiden House, there's Kilcawley House, and there's Cafaro House. Now, Kilcawley is always the most popular option for students when they look to live on campus due to the fact that the location is right in the center of campus, so you're surrounded by all of your classes, you're surrounded by Kilcawley Center. Cafaro House is considered the academic or honors dorm, and that's where the honor students get to stay. And then Leiden House is where I stayed last year, and that's considered the sports or athletic dorm, which is where the basketball players and the football players stay. Now, Leiden and Cafaro are both located at the top of campus and right by the dining hall. So if you are looking to eat food often, then that's the place to be. Now, moving on to the apartments, there are 4 apartments. There are the Flats at Wick, which are located on Madison Avenue, which is right across from Cafaro and Leiden. There's the newly built Enclave, which is down on Lincoln Avenue. There's the Edge, which is by the bookstore, and there are the University Courtyards, which are located by Bliss Hall. Now, depending on where you live, whether you choose an apartment or a dorm, the room sizes are going to vary. When you live in a dorm, you get a standard room size. There's going to be 2 beds, 2 dressers, 2 wardrobes, 2 desks, and in most cases, you're going to have a communal bathroom where you're going to share with the rest of your floor. In an apartment, you're standardly going to get a kitchen, you're going to get a living room, you're going to have a separate bedroom. If you choose a 1-bedroom apartment, you're going to have it all to yourself, but you could have 1, 2, or 3 other roommates. And in your room, you're going to have a private bathroom. Depending on where you stay, you could share it with one person or you could have it all to yourself. Moving on to amenities, there are certain restrictions set in place in dorm rooms on what you aren't allowed to bring. This includes candles, extension cords, heaters, and heated blankets, which are all considered to be fire hazards. In an apartment, however, there are no limitations on what you are allowed to bring, and your apartment should be fully furnished, meaning you only need to bring curtains, bedspreads, and any other decorations that you would like. The facilities offered in both an apartment and dorm are very similar, but slightly different on some aspects. In a dorm, there's free laundry service located in the basement of whatever dorm you're in, along with different study rooms and a small workout facility, which typically only has a treadmill and an elliptical. The only major downfall of living in a dorm is the small on-site parking available, but luckily a shuttle comes around and provides you with transportation to wherever you need. After researching the facilities that the apartments offer for their residents, I have concluded that they are essentially the same ones as the dorms provide for their residents. According to the Flats website, they do not offer free laundry services for their residents, but give them a laundry card which they are able to load up with however much money that they need for the semester. According to the Edge website, they have in-unit laundry services for all of their residents and also have study rooms. They have a free computer room where they're able to get free prints. According to the Enclave's website, they also provide workout rooms, study rooms, and they even have a tanning bed for their residents located in the basement of the apartment. Last but not least, according to the University Courtyards, they have an outdoor basketball court for their residents, they have a volleyball court, in addition to study rooms, computer rooms, and laundry services for their students. In addition to the amenities provided, there's also security provided for both establishments, the only difference being how long an RA is on call. In a dorm, the RA is typically on call all day. Somebody will switch out for different shifts, and after 12 a.m., a security guard or a police officer will actually come sit at the front desk and monitor the people coming in and out. In an apartment, however, there are only certain days and times when they are working, meaning one day you can go in and there could be somebody sitting at the front desk, and the other day there could be nobody there. The major similarity between the apartments and dorms is the key card entry. Last year, when I was a resident of Leiden, we had the standard key and lock entry system, and talking to students and some of my friends who live in the dorms this year, they've informed me that they've upgraded and now have the key card entry like the apartments for maximum security. The major difference between apartments and dorms, however, are the quiet hours that are set in place. In the dorms, especially during finals week, there are certain hours dedicated to no talking to respect other individuals who might be studying for big exams or those who are sleeping. In an apartment, however, there are no rules set in place, meaning you could be asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and hear somebody in the room next to you cooking or cleaning, or you could just hear loud music at any hours of the day. The last topic that I would like to talk about is the difference between being considered an on-campus student and an off-campus student. I actually talked to the manager of the NYO property to discuss finances between dorms and apartments, and she informed me that living in an apartment is in fact cheaper than living in a dorm. And looking on the housing website, I saw that a standard dorm room is $10,000 per year, and doing the math, most of the apartments range between $7,000 and $8,000 per year. The only big difference between the cost of living on campus and off campus is living in one of the dorms or in the university courtyards, as you can apply your scholarships and grants towards your rent. Living off campus, such as the Edge, the Enclave, and the Flats at Wick, you are paying out of pocket and you can't apply any of your scholarships to that. Another big difference between being an on-campus student and an off-campus student is the fact that living on campus, you are provided with a meal plan, meaning you can go to the dining hall for dinner, you can get Pete's Points and Flex Dollars to spend anywhere in Kilcolly and various restaurants on campus. Living in an apartment, you are expected to provide for yourself and buy your own groceries, but you are able to purchase a meal plan and Pete's Points and Flex Dollars. After discussing the differences between living in an apartment and the dorms, I hope there are no hidden expectations for any student wanting to find their home on campus. As stated previously, there are many differences between apartments and dorms, the pros and cons of each one, and the benefits of living on campus and being an off-campus student. In my opinion, choosing a place to live on campus is up to the person deciding. The main thing to do is to have a good roommate and a positive attitude in where you're living, and that's the best way to have a successful and productive school year. Thank you for listening to my speech.